And that's not this important said.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One more time. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Brenda Paula Gray. Thank you, Uncle John, and thank you, Auntie Pat, for this opportunity. I'm here today to introduce my cousin, an awesome man of God, Norman Sundrell Davidson, affectionately known as Sundrell. Sundrell currently lives right outside of New York City. He travels the world extensively, from China to Brazil. This is his first message, but he has something he has been called, it is something that he has been called to do, even from a very young age. He stands firm in his faith. He's focused on what God has called him to do. He's faithful in what God has called him to do. I'm so elated. This man of God, he is not a carbon copy. He is an original. Awesome, very intelligent, intellectual man of God. I present to you my dear cousin, Norman Sundrell Davis.
Amen. Wow. Praise God.
Amen.
That's quite an introduction. I just want to say thank you very much for that. I've always been told you never want to stand between people and food, so I will. First off, I want to say thank you to Pastor John Lewis and Auntie Tricia, the staff and congregation of New Harmony Church, and everyone who has played a part in the development of this message, both large and small. For those of you who don't know me, but you do from that wonderful introduction, my name is Norman Sundrell Davison. I'm the son of Norman Davison and the glorious Bobby Jean. I am a son, a brother, an uncle, a nephew, a cousin, a teammate, a co-worker, a friend, a coach, a mentor, and a child of God.
Amen.
At any one time, I can be one or all of these things. But what I am most proud of is the fact that I am a representative and a combination of all of the people that have played a role in my life. And many of them I see here today. I don't take it lightly that you could have spent this very moment in life at any number of locations, yet chose to be here. You chose to be here to hear a message given to me in fine, precise pieces throughout the course of my life. Pieces assembled in unconditional love and hardened by sorrow and heartache few on this planet could endure, let alone speak about in grateful and welcoming tones. So before I start, I just want to say to each and every one of you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Whether you take anything from this message, know that your presence alone has already enhanced and will forever change my life. As of today, I dedicate the rest of my life to the will of God and the service He has planted in my heart. When I was a child, I was blessed to have strong people around me. Not only was I born into a close-knit family, one centered in love and togetherness, but I also had the foundation of my church and my faith. I had no doubt that I was a child of God and those around me were also children of God. At that time, I viewed it as a certain sense of security that afforded me a unique freedom in comparison to what I see today. I could speak with and spend time with any member of my community knowing I was safe and that I would always learn something new. I saw each day as a wonderful new challenge and woke up excited each and every day. I was given time to go play, to learn, to make mistakes and fall, to be creative, learn the rules, to challenge and sometimes break those rules. I was given time to go to church and to find and develop my own personality, to find my way.
Amen.
If I had to sum it up in one word, I would simply say I had a community. A network of friends and family that viewed my life as valuable and important. One that took on the responsibility to protect, to nurture, to educate, to influence, but most of all, to empower me. When I compare today's world to the one I grew up in, I see a lot of differences. I don't see the breadth and depth of communities as I did only a few years ago. I don't see the family dinners where each member gets a chance to tell the others how their day went. I don't hear of the long phone calls of a daughter in college calling home to her father. I don't hear of someone taking an hour to write a handwritten letter to their best friend. I don't even see kids riding their bikes in packs down the street.
No. You're right.
Many would say that it's technology and that technology has ruined it all. But I strongly disagree. It is true that technology has moved forward in ways that we could have never imagined when I was a kid. But technology is intended to only make our lives easier. Because if you think about it, all of those things that I described before are still possible.
Sure, you're right.
As a matter of fact, technology can assist us in each and every one of those areas I listed before. So what's the true issue? When I was growing up, like many of you, I spent a lot of time at church and was very familiar with the books of the Bible. I was told over and over again to pay attention to Revelations. I was told of a spiritual warfare and that at some point the minds and the will of the believers will be tested. Today I'm here to tell you that we are in that testing period.
Come on, say so. Say so.
That we are now in a struggle and must be strong and push back. The forces of darkness have declared that the righteous are their enemy, and they've chosen tactics of division and confusion to fight against us. So what is under attack? To me, it's the community. It's the family. It's the general connection that we all have as people to one another. These are the things that technology should make a lot easier. However, they're being used against us. We no longer put in the effort to show one another that we care about them.
All right.
We use Facebook and Instagram likes as if that is the most amount of effort that we need to put in.
Sure, you're right.
That's not the case. In today's world, we find ourselves living in very important and historical times. No 2 days are the same, and each day seems to have greater and greater importance. I, like many people, grew up being told I could be anything. And I aspired to reach new heights because of it.
All right.
But I also thought, I also had all these limitations. I never thought I would see a black president. And if I did, it meant society had changed in a way that was so positive and so magnificent that every wrong in the world would have been made right.
Come
And
on.
people would have lost.
Come on. Come on. All right.
But that's not the case. Our world is not that one big happy place, that one big happy
Sure,
shore.
you're right.
I was lulled to sleep. Our community is under attack. I will say that over and over again.
Yes.
So how do we fight back? What can we do to make sure that evil only wins a few battles, but that those chosen for the light win the war?
All right.
So first of all, I want to start with a little exercise. I want each of you to think of the top 3 moments in your life. Moments which you know without a doubt that you were happy. Moments that immediately make you smile or laugh, or that immediately disarm any negative force in your life. And I didn't ask for the top 20. I didn't even ask for the top 10. I want to know the top 3. I want you to really think about it. I want you to eliminate those memories you aren't that sure about. I want numbers 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now, by a show of hands, I want to know how many of your top ranked memories, actually let's start with number 3. How many of those memories include someone else? By a show of hands, if your your number 3 memory includes an activity or an experience that included someone other than yourself. Seems to be almost everybody. Some people aren't quite sure about it. Let's move on to number 2. If the number 2 memory in your life, the happiest moment in your life, included someone other than yourself, raise your hand. So more people raise their hand. That's quite interesting. Cam, wait, but number 2, okay. So one more time. If your number 1 ranked memory, we're going to try it a different way. I want you to keep your hands down. If your number 1 memory is just by yourself, trick question. Right. So if your number 1 memory included someone else, someone other than yourself, someone who can have the same memory and smile and laugh about what happened, I want you to raise your hand. I would assume that everyone in this room would have raised their hand.
It's
That's a trick question.
And here's why I say that. Your most impactful memories of happiness always include someone else. And I know no one feels that that is an isolated incident. That's not just true for New Harmony Church.
My Lord.
That is not just true for West Point, Georgia. That is not just true for America. That is true for every single individual on this planet. And until someone can prove me wrong, I will continue to believe this.
Amen.
So think about it. There are those of us who have achieved amazing personal feats. And maybe they were achieved at a time by just one person, but I can quickly and easily show you that one person did not achieve these things by themselves.
Amen.
Does anyone have an example? I don't think so. So let me stop beating around the bush on this. The pathway to happiness and community always goes through other people.
Yes.
It doesn't go under or around them. It happens with them. And let me explain this for a bit. When 2 people are celebrating getting married, or having a child, or when a person graduates school or college, or competes in a sporting event, what happens? In each situation, people are invited to witness that feat, to celebrate, to take part, to be notified. Why? Why does this happen? We may not say it all the time. Sometimes we substitute actions and gifts instead of using the words, but at the end of the day, we all know that we have never achieved, nor will we ever achieve something without the support, assistance, or opportunity granted from others.
Amen.
Someone must always stand in for you,
Yes.
to give you a shot to do whatever it is you want.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Your mere existence upon this earth required the action and support of someone else.
Amen.
Unless Adam and Eve and maybe baby Jesus are in attendance, everyone in this room required the efforts of their parents or a really, really good surgeon. And when you arrived, you didn't exactly have the whole living on earth thing down pat. You couldn't walk, you couldn't talk or feed yourself or even protect yourself from the elements. You couldn't afford that expensive Uber ride to go to your non-existent home that you hadn't created yet. You didn't know what your email address was, or have a strong enough bank account Nope. You were left on the table, and if you were just left on the table and not placed in the arms of someone else, you would have surely perished.
Yeah.
Not over days or months or years, but within minutes or seconds. My point can be summarized by saying this. The person we are born as and grow into requires other people.
Amen.
Amen.
There is no such thing as a self-made man or woman.
All right.
Sure, there are those who require less support. Those who figure it out with little support or against all odds or despite opposition. But there is no person who has done it completely without anyone else. So I ask that you mark that point and hold that for me. Knowing that achievement requires others, why do we set our focus of happiness with limited or fully without the input or feedback of others? Why do we consistently define happiness in solitude? Now I don't want you to confuse this very point. Happiness is not satisfying the expectation of others. It is not making other people happy just by simply doing things for them. If that were the case, all millionaires and servants would be happy and equally to boot. Does anyone in here have young children? I see quite a few here, so it must be, say, less than 8 years old. How did you feel when they took their first steps? Or said their first word? Or made you a macaroni necklace spelling out your name, or said they loved you? How did that experience make you feel?
Good.
Were you proud?
Yes.
Yes.
Were you happy?
Yes.
Your child performed this feat, yet somehow you were proud and happy.
Yes.
Let's examine this for a minute. When your child took their first step, what preceded that very step? Probably a lot of encouragement from you. Probably a safe environment like some soft carpet or some outstretched arms.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone saying, come on, don't give up,
Yes.
don't stop.
Yes.
You cheered them on enthusiastically with a smile. You may not have described it that way, but you were fully enrolled in making sure that it happened. You knew the potential was there, and you provided an environment for it to happen. You gave all of the encouragement and support needed. You knew your child wanted to do this feat, and you knew you could assist them. You knew you could make sure that they were successful. If they only provided the will, you would provide everything else.
Oh, yes. Amen.
Now, what if this behavior didn't stop with just our kids when they were walking, learning to walk and learning to talk? What if you knew what your neighbor or your cousin, your coworker, your wife, your son, your husband, your best friend, what if you knew what they wanted to accomplish and you could provide the very same elements needed to make sure that they were successful? What if you truly enrolled yourself in the achievement of their goal? What could we accomplish? What if you adopted this thinking for every person and situation in your life? Now, I know this isn't easy and requires time and effort, emotion and sacrifice. I can see it on some of your faces. I can't do that for everybody. And it's not for you to do that for everybody. You know, the first thing we think about is I don't have the time or the ability, the money, and sometimes I don't have the desire to do that for everybody. I can't spend every day of my life enrolling in ensuring other people's dreams. Other people's dreams don't pay my mortgage, or my car note, or my student loan bill. They won't put food on the table and actually might require some of my money. So what do? How do you balance your life and enroll in other success? What this guy in this gray suit in front of you is trying to tell you is what this pathway to happiness is. What I want to tell you is how to develop the community around you. It all starts with your vision and what you have for yourself. What do you want to achieve?
Yes.
And how do you develop your supporting cast and enroll them in your success? What if I told you that you and you alone can control the type of people who enter and exit your life?
Yes.
What if I told you that you and you alone can control the caliber of people in your circle? The people who have access to your mind, your heart, and your soul. That you can control the process by which you attract people. The process by which you train others how to treat you.
Yes.
That you alone are responsible for each and every relationship in your life. And that coincidence is purely just a myth and has not one iota of truth. Quite honestly, the role of friend, of spouse, of confidant should have the same level of scrutiny that we put into our job, our car, our dress, the way we talk. If your time and energy and effort are as important to you as you say they are, you would go through a very strong process when it comes to the people that you allow into your life. I'm not saying that, you should have friends or dates that don't necessarily come up to par all the time. We all make mistakes and we all falter. But I will say, if I were a father of a daughter and she was looking for potential dates, I'd have a strong process. You aren't just going to come and date her without meeting a very long list of criteria. And once you pass that, I'm still going to run you through a gauntlet of tests.
Yeah.
There's some minimum requirements. Just like applying for any job, there's a group of minimum requirements. Why can't we take that approach with our life? Your life is just as important, if not more important to you than your job, so why not? I like to say I abide by one simple rule. I call it OQP. Not OCP, not OGP, not OPP. Certainly not OPP. OQP stands for only quality people. This means surround yourself with only quality people. People that respect your time.
Yes.
People that add to your life.
Yes.
People that help and assist you and are thankful for you. They're working to achieve their goals, but they can also abide by your rules. These people will add to your energy, not take away from it.
Yes.
They will help you achieve your proper frequency, not interrupt it. They will uplift you, not put you down, or negatively impact your self-esteem. They will talk in a language rooted in positivity, which expels and denounces negativity. If you surround yourself with only quality people, your life will take on a new shape. Allow me to illustrate this for you. Anyone like flowers, gardens?
Yes.
What is the one thing that you don't see in an award-winning botanical garden? Got it right. Weeds. Disorder. They pay good money to take out all of the weeds. They make sure the garden looks impeccable each and every day.
Yes.
Your life and the people in it require that exact same effort. You communicate and illustrate what you want. You tell people how the rules are going to go. If you do that, what will remain is just flowers, beautiful plants. And if people fall in place and in line, you add mulch around their feet, keep going. And if they don't, you pluck them out, you add mulch to what is left, and you keep going. So I want to give you 5 things, 5 principles that allow you to be on this pathway to happiness and build a community. several more out there, but I want to talk about these 5. The first one, like I said before, take personal responsibility for every relationship in your life. Don't say I lost contact with someone because they didn't call me or write me, or I lost their number, and all of a sudden you drift apart. What if you take the initiative to give them a call?
Amen.
Amen.
What if
That's
you
right.
take the initiative to write them a letter?
That's right.
If you take it on as your own responsibility to look after your neighbor, your friend, your family, you'll never lose contact.
Mhm.
And they will develop a certain level of trust with you as well. Because they know you will not let them fall through the cracks. You will not let them be forgotten. You will enroll yourself in their dreams, and you will teach them how to respond to you. You know, they always say you teach people how to treat you. But if you take on that initiative, they will now learn how to treat you. The second thing is learn to quiet your inner voice. For some reason, that voice inside of our head is always negative. It's almost never positive. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not tall enough. You don't have enough money. It's always saying something to you
Yes.
to keep you from doing what you need to do.
Yes.
That inner voice will keep you from obtaining a blessing
Yeah.
that you're supposed to have.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I'll say, you know, I agreed to come down here around Thanksgiving last year. And once we really kind of solidified this, it seemed like the forces of evil were out to get me. My road here was not a straight line. There were so many hurdles and so many things that were happening. And the voice inside my head said, you can't go. You can't do this. And you know what I told that voice? Shut up.
Amen. Yes.
You're just a voice to me.
Yes.
Because even though I may not feel like doing something, I'm going to do it anyway. If you practice telling that voice, you know what? No matter what you say, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
Overcome that. The third thing, speak life into the people around you.
Yes.
So many people are hurting, and they feel alone, and they feel as if they cannot turn to anyone.
Yes.
But you have the opportunity to speak life into them.
Yes.
We often don't understand how powerful our voice is. You're not a cat or a dog. You're a person that was gifted with voice. And you have the power to speak things into existence.
Yes.
You know, at my job, we did a little bit of an experiment. We took 2 plants, put them in the courtyard. We put a sign on the plants and we said, to this plant, I want you to speak kind words to it. I want you to tell it that it's beautiful and that it's bountiful, and that it's going to grow wonderful fruit and be plentiful. And on the other side, we put the exact same plant. We said we want you to yell at it. Tell it it's ugly. Tell it it won't amount to anything and it won't bear fruit. And we watered them both the exact same time. We gave them the same fertilizer. We put them in the same sunlight. And do you know that that plant that we yelled at, that we told it would never amount to anything, that came to fruition. That plant wilted and it died.
Yes.
The plant that we spoke life to grew bountiful. Now this is just a plant. Amen. Technically it shouldn't have emotions, it shouldn't have feelings. But you know what happened? Your words have
Yes.
energy.
Yes.
Amen.
So imagine if your words have that impact on a plant. What kind of impact will it have on your neighbor?
Wonderful.
on your child.
Mhm.
The fourth thing, be present. And I don't just mean be here sitting in the pew. I mean be here mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Amen.
Now, most of the time we are constantly worried about what's going to happen in the future. Do I have enough money? Have I saved for retirement? What's the traffic going to be like? Do I have the right clothes? And we worry. We worry about what's going to happen. Now, here's the interesting thing about worrying about the future. Our views of the future are always shaped by our experiences of the past.
Amen.
Because we don't know anything about the future, we place our view of the past on it. So we always bring our past into our future. Come on.
Yeah.
And what do we miss when we're oscillating back and forth between worrying about the future and looking back at the past? We miss being right here. Amen. We miss the opportunity to look into someone's eyes and be able to pick up when they're really sad, when they're concerned, because we're not there with them. The last thing, allow yourself to have fun. Allow yourself to create memories. Because like I asked you before, your greatest memories are with other people. If you allow yourself to fully be in the moment, to fully be there with someone else, you will have a connection with them that you never had before. You will have a depth of your relationship that allows you to enroll in that person's dreams and allow them to enroll in yours.
Yes.
Now, these are 5 simple rules. They sound fairly easy, but trust me, they take a lot of practice. But once you start to use them, you will see things transform in your life. Because you're not going around people. You're not trying to go over them or under them. You are living your life through people.
Amen.
I personally have put these 5 principles to use in my life, and they've worked wonders for me. You know, like I said earlier, I didn't just want to do this. I needed to do this. This is as much for me as it is for each one of you in the pew. I've been given a message, and it doesn't just stop today.
Amen. Amen.
All right. As I started with, our community is under attack. Yeah. Like never before. And the only way that we can save it and grow it is to recognize the enemy, to put plans in place to combat the enemy,
Yes.
and on the other side, when we defeat the enemy, to rebuild what has been lost.
Amen.
That is what I dedicate my life to, and that is what you will continuously hear and see